Welcome to Life Sessions presented by HDFC Life in partnership with ET Now. From securing your family's future to safeguarding financial commitments, protection is a vital pillar of financial well-being. Big life moves like buying a home, expanding a business, or funding a dream often begin with credit. Alongside that opportunity comes the responsibility of safeguarding what you've built, ensuring that life's uncertainties don't turn a financial stepping stone into a burden. In today's episode, we explore solutions designed to safeguard customers. Joining us in studio are Sumant Rampal, Group Head, HDFC Bank, and Jasjit Singh, Head, HDFC Banca and Alternate Sales, HDFC Life. Jasjit, Sumant, thank you so much for taking the time to join us in studio on this special edition of Life Sessions.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. And Jasjit, let me do a bit of a deep dive by way of some context setting. Right? When we look at India's trajectory with respect to financial awareness, financial literacy, digital penetration, it all points to the positive. However, the protection gap in this country is staggering, especially when compared to global counterparts. How do you respond to that? What are the leading causes? And how do we close the gap?
No, I think, you pointed it right because we've seen that the gap, continues to be fairly large if we were to compare it with global economies. Many numbers floating around close to about $17 trillion of gap. But I think it has two parts to it. One is obviously the gap, which is the sheer protection gap in terms of people insured versus what they should actually be. But there's also another pocket which kind of really undermines the potential of insurance, which is to do with people with inadequate insurance. And I think that's something that is also coming to the fore a lot more than what it used to be. Also, the industry has kind of evolved. We've seen the days when, this was more concentrated with one insurance player, all of us know. And with the privatization coming through, thanks to the initiatives of the government, we've seen the kind of penetration which used to be in the early 2000s kind of going up, but there's fairly a large distance to cover up. And I think the private players like us have been quite innovative in terms of the product segments and the customer segments that we need to cater to.
No, absolutely.
But we do see that the opportunity is fairly large because as I always say in most of the interactions that we do in terms of bringing and deepening the entire penetration agenda, I think the larger part of market in tier 2, tier 3 cities continues to be still under-penetrated. Maybe it's to do with lack of knowledge, maybe it's to do with more customization of products, which currently is slightly limited because of the lack of the right data, because how we underwrite products and how we make sure, because we don't want to as an insurance provider, go wrong at the time of claim. And I think that's what a customer will really look forward to when he's buying a product like this. So I think there's some bit of work which has happened, but there's a lot more that can be done on this aspect.
Coming to you, sir, when we talk about changing India, heterogeneous India, lifestyle choices vary. The urban-rural divide is very pronounced, right? You've seen an aspirational India, but those aspirations span a huge spectrum, sir. So, given that we just heard Jasjit talk about how perceptions around protecting your liability are now changing, do you essentially echo the same sentiment? And if you could cite examples that speak to that either way.
No, I totally echo that. And, today, if you look at India, yes, there is this divide, but that divide is actually kind of shrinking. And, everybody, because of social media, because of the lifestyles, because of awareness, people are realizing and getting the sense of what all new things they can do. Sure. Let me try to give you a little nuance to it, that
Please.
If you really look at mortgages as mortgages to GDP as a data point,
sure.
India even today, for the 140 crore people, is at 11 to 12% of GDP on mortgages. You look at China, that's at about 35-40%. You look at US, it's probably touching 60-70%.
Right.
So there is a huge gap there. Now, how do you kind of make mortgages or homes more available? At 140 crore people, a number of people who've taken home loans is not more than 2.5, 3 crores.
Sure.
So there is a big gap there to kind of go out and fill. Now, that gap can be filled in with more affordability getting created and more protection getting created. Because people tend to kind of get a little risk averse. People don't know if something happens to me, whether my incomes will come through. If incomes don't come through, what will be the impact of my family? And that's where insurance products come in to kind of support. And that's where a credit protect can kind of support that, okay, you are a self-employed individual. There are these vagaries to life. Your businesses can go through enough challenges. We provide you a home or a mortgages loan, and along with that is a credit protect which is attached to it, which gives you the protection if something goes wrong to you or your business. And that's a huge value add for a small micro enterprise or a self-employed individual.
Sure.
You look at MSMEs in the country. There are about 7.5 crore MSMEs today in the country.
Right.
And just about 1.5-2 crores actually go out and take a credit limit. So we as a bank are really trying to reach out to a lot of MSMEs across the country. And along with that, we are also saying that there is a credit limit which helps you to kind of do your business, but the credit protect, which is a combined product stream, gives you the benefit and the comfort that you don't need to really worry about anything if something goes wrong.
And it seems only prudent.
Yes.
Right? So let's do a bit more of a deep dive, Jasjit, on the Credit Protect product, because I believe it might be somewhat of a new concept for our viewers, right? So if you could walk us through the type of cover it provides or perhaps does not provide, how payment of premiums is structured, and the value adds, of course, that you just mentioned.
So maybe I'll start from, your previous question wherein, we've seen a lot of change happening in the way the customer onboarding used to happen. So typically insurance was, a product wherein you had to go explain it to the customer and then he'll take time, he'll check with multiple people around him.
Sure.
And then finally come to a conclusion of buying a product. Now what maybe, the entire digital evolution has done for us is it's made more direct to consumer connect a lot more better than it used to be.
Instant comparison charts, the onboarding is so seamless, right? That brings a lot of trust and transparency in the process.
True.
Well before you even reach the claim settlement stage.
Pooja, that's the critical part.
Right.
That if you are able to, from the start of the journey with the customer,
right,
you're able to bring about clarity to him or her that these are the credits that you're taking.
Sure.
These are the potential risks which are not under your control.
Right.
And this is the kind of protection that an institution like HDFC Life and HDFC Bank can bring about together.
Sure.
Automatically comforts start coming in.
Right.
And then of course the internet is bringing in the whole comparative very easily, which is very good. In my view, it's fantastic because you have full transparency,
right?
And you have a beautiful digital journey which allows both the two things to flow together.
Yes.
The documentation happens seamlessly. There is no need for you to physically come to a branch or do a separate documentation. And then the post disbursement or the post release of an insurance program or the funding, there is a very beautiful servicing capability of the institution. Because end of the day, it's not about just giving; it's about servicing over a life cycle of 15 years.
Right.
And I think that's the most critical part.
Absolutely.
And just as an extension, I mean, for the kind of brand legacy we have, it's more about trust. And for insurance, obviously the end, objective for a customer is to really take care of his, protection needs. And I think both the brands bring that, to the fore very, very strongly. And I think given the loan tenure, which is varying anywhere between 5 to 10 years for short-term loans to as high as maybe 20 years on home loans.
Right.
We do have products which cater to, both needs, so short-term as well as long-term needs. But I think while Sumant mentioned about the onboarding experience and how seamless it is than what it used to be, so there's a lot of work that has happened on that particular aspect. But what we also definitively see is that we are also constantly engaging with the customer at multiple stages of his life. So maybe he makes a prepayment of a loan. What does the insurance product get to?
Right.
Does he need to relook at his needs? So all of those continuous nudging with the customer at different intervals of his loan tenure really makes this product even more customized than what it used to be previously. So I think that, and just as a last point to that, I think eventually the claim settlement has to be really seamless as it is at the time of onboarding, and therefore there's a lot of work which we've done, and thankfully now the data sets are more cleaner than what they used to be in terms of mortality and other stuff, etc. So we do engage with the customers a lot more, and therefore more information means better decisions and better customer experience.
Well, absolutely. But Jasjit, I'll just play devil's advocate for a moment. So with the internet, there is also the risk of information overload. It can be very overwhelming to, essentially find that clarity that the two of you are talking about in the process. So how do you tackle that? And more specifically, Also, coming to you, Sumant, at what stage in the loan process is Credit Protect introduced such that it doesn't create that friction in that customer journey? I think we do need to address these two very critical points, and I'll start with you, Jasjit.
Yeah, so I think that's, you're right. I mean, too much information is also really at times causing differential understanding of really the real situation which is there. But I think thankfully we do have a lot of analytical tools these days to really engage with the customers in a much more prolific way. So there are a lot of things which really aid today insurance companies' decisions, not just at the time of claims, but at the time of onboarding as well. So we are not a service provider or a product provider to a customer. We are wanting that the entire customer experience, right from onboarding till the time of the claim settlement, really works seamlessly.
Right.
So to that extent, I think we are very, very strongly working on the available data sets which we have. And we do have an experience now. So maybe what you mentioned in the initial years was a challenge,
right?
But we've moved quite a bit distance in terms of really taking informed decisions when it comes to that. I think on onboarding, I'm sure, Sumant will.
Yes.
So I firmly believe, and being now banker 25 years, it's all about relationship management.
Right.
It's all about your ability to give the comfort to your relationship, which is the consumer, that whatever you're offering is the best on the table.
Sure.
The internet and the overall ecosystem provides information. That information is provided to the consumer also, and that's available to the banker also.
Right.
If you're able to showcase transparently that whatever is there, yes, sir, this is there.
Yes.
This is where the benefit which comes along in banking with me or doing the program with me, consumers would go with that.
Right.
And I think that's where we have to understand the consumer is very, very intelligent, very smart. He knows or she knows what he or she wants. It's about you letting them give the right product at the right time. And if you are more engaged, it's all about engagement. You have to just keep engaging. And we at HDFC Bank, along with HDFC Life and our partners, we believe that is the crucial story around management of customer relationship.
And one thing that really struck me a moment ago, what you just said, Jasjit, is we're not simply an insurance provider. You're more of a partner than an insurance provider, if I could use that term. And the flexibility when it comes to, how premium payments are structured or cover or value adds really seems to be the name of the game here. But if we were to take the conversation in a different direction for a moment, and I'll start with you, Sumant, when we talk about trends around fintech, right? Trends around digital infrastructure, pan-India. A lot of this has huge potential to completely transform the lending landscape, right? And how lending works vis-a-vis, cover for risks. So your comments on where the industry is headed and how is HDFC a step ahead of the curve, perhaps?
Also, I think it's fantastic positioning. It's the right time.
Yeah.
It's great for consumers. We as a bank have been very, very actively engaging, building our technology stack, making sure that the solutioning is available both physically and digitally. We have today a capability that if somebody comes to HDFC Bank website or an HDFC Bank digital property, he or she can apply for a loan and go up till the whole process of disbursement,
Sure.
Including the cross-sell or the need of insurance. And this whole process is fully digitized. Is it a perfect 100% right up there?
Right.
Oh no, it's an evolving process.
Sure.
Every day we are kind of, engaging, getting feedback, improving, moving forward. And we're getting some beautiful feedback from our consumers. They love it. They certainly see a lot of value add there. And as far as fintechs or digital partners, we do a lot of engagement with them because India is such a large, huge canvas that you can't physically reach out. You have to do physical, digital partnerships all together, and you have to create the best for the consumer.
Sure.
And I think we are very, very happy about what we are doing on this. A lot more can be done, has to be done, which is a continuous process.
Right. And perhaps the biggest value add is the peace of mind from the process.
Absolutely.
If I could call it that. And coming to you now, Jasjit, Essentially, do you believe that Credit Protect, the product we were talking about just moments ago, could become more central to how consumers ultimately engage with credit? Right? I think that is the goal. So how far along are we in that journey?
So I'm sure you buy consumer durables, so do all of us. And the moment you are in the retail outlet, the moment you take that buying decision of buying a particular gadget or a consumer durable, you'll have another person will come and say, you take this protection, and because if you're buying something which is really expensive, it helps you take care, it'll get replaced and so on and so forth. So I think to that extent, life insurance, I would say, is still in a very nascent stage because it's still not tangible. You can't really feel the benefit of the product coming to you right away, but it will over a period of time. And I think this is a decision which you take on behalf of your loved ones, your family. So I think to that extent, the product is now getting more enriched in terms of what do we do, going beyond just the plain vanilla Credit Protect. And that's where, as I was talking about the riders, the critical illness and the disability riders, and those are things and incidences which are happening quite often. Now, what we typically see in the category that we operate in, we do see that, there are two issues. There's either you live too long or you die too early. I mean, both ways you have to see how you kind of take care of your loved ones and more about your financial requirements. And to that extent, if you see our product portfolio, while you spoke about Credit Protect, but even on the retail side of it, which is where we have, wealth and savings accumulation plans, and we have retirement plans. I mean, we take care of multiple, life-changing needs of the customer as and when he kind of traverses through multiple, milestones of his life. And I think at HDFC Life, we've seen constant work happening on this front in terms of how do we enrich our product propositions, how do we make it more customer friendly, how do we make sure that the entire servicing capability that we really commit to a customer eventually get delivered. And I think to that extent, we've traveled a fair distance in terms of what we've been able to collectively achieve, I think, with HDFC Bank. And there's more work happening as we speak. And I think over the next few years, you'll see it continue to grow further.
It absolutely is. And these anecdotes are incredibly moving. And they are everyday stories of everyday people. Absolutely. But by way of closing comments, and I'll pose my last question to the both of you gentlemen, I think it's come up in conversation that life insurance is not an instant gratification product. And yet we are somewhat of an instant gratification generation, right? So, any words of advice you might have to our viewers who may be watching, who span millennials, right? Small and medium enterprises, first-time entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, salaried professionals who are perhaps having one foot in that door, wanting to pursue entrepreneurship. And of course, everything changes when it's your own business and the considerations completely change. Any words of advice you might have on how to essentially protect against risk vis-a-vis the product portfolio, the solutions and the services that the two of you offer?
Pooja, in my view, it's pure instant gratification product. Instant gratification at the time when you need it.
Right. Good point.
It's the right product at the time when you need it.
Right. And nothing else can help you then.
When you have to pay for it, it cannot be. But when you need it, it's instant gratification because you go through various life cycles, various challenges in life. Right. And at the time of the challenge, if you have an insurance protection available, which gives you a gratification, not gratification in that sense, but gratification in the sense that you don't need to be worried about anything else, and you've got your money or you've got your protection. I think what better than this? Why are the developed markets, whether it is Europe or US, really growing or have really reached that space is because the common man didn't need to worry about all of this. They have the protections available, whether it is the government, whether it is the insurance companies. Yes, there's a price to it, but it also gives you a lot of freedom to go out and take those risks in lives.
Yes.
And that's where I would recommend everybody who's listening, who's hearing us, that don't look at this as a cost, look at this as an investment, look at this as something which is there for the long, and it will give you gratification at the right time.
Can't argue with that, Sumant. And with that, Jasjit, I'll give you the last word.
So I think as Indians, we are quite savvy about what we really pay for in terms of premium, etc. So obviously, if you're younger, and more to your question on millennials and the youngsters trying to go, but I think it's wiser to plan early, and therefore you end up paying lesser if you're younger and as you grow old, obviously the premiums kind of keep moving both across life as well as general insurance, depending upon the risk that you are taking.
Right.
Also, in terms of the customer segments, as you really talked about, in fact, even on the business owner segment side, we've seen a lot of growth potential happening. In fact, we've seen a lot of businesses really taking insurances for their key men, key personnel.
Right.
Their key directors, in the sense, because if they are representing an organization at large, tomorrow if something was to happen, they are the key decision maker. So we do have customized solutions tailored to those needs as well. And obviously salaried segment is one of the most potent ones, and they are also much more aware, because most of the products are really tailored to the needs of those kind of segments. So it does benefit people to start to plan early, and that's what I believe everyone should really take care of.
Well, Jasjit and Sumant, thank you so much for taking the time to join us in studio and for sharing such a rich range of anecdotes from your personal and professional journeys alike. We wish you and your teams all the continued success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on Live Sessions presented by HDFC Life in partnership with ET Now. As we've heard today, credit can be a powerful enabler of dreams, but it comes with its own set of risks. By integrating protection into your financial journey, dreams remain secure, no matter what life brings. And with the combined strength of HDFC Bank and HDFC Life, and an approach that blends customer insight, innovation, and trust, customers across India, whether in metros or emerging towns, can take on opportunities with confidence. Stay tuned for more conversations on Live Sessions as we continue to explore ideas and solutions that protect what truly matters. Thanks for watching.